When's the last time you saw that movie yourself?
You want to know the truth?
Yeah.
It was when I saw it with her, when we were in previews.
That was the last time you saw it?
That was 20... You guys tell me, how long ago was that?
You know, you're willing to kind of mold yourself around whoever you are, you know, in love with.
I guess for me, the big realization of being married is that it's not that much different. Like, I still have to make myself happy.
Richard Gere and Carey Lowell are calling it quits after 11 years of marriage. They've reportedly been separated for months. Gere and Lowell have a son together.
Richard Gere's love life and career are total Hollywood legend. This heartthrob has had some seriously high-profile romances and epic movie roles, making waves both on and off the screen. First, we had the iconic supermodel Cindy Crawford. Gere and Crawford got hitched in 1991, and their marriage was all kinds of glam. Sadly, they called it quits in 1995, but their time together was unforgettable. Next up was actress and model Carey Lowell. Gere and Lowell tied the knot in 2002 and welcomed a son named Homer. After over a decade together, they split in 2016. Finally, Gere found true love with Spanish activist Alejandra Silva. They started dating in 2014 and made it official in April 2018. Alejandra runs Rice Fundación, a nonprofit aiming to end homelessness in Spain, which totally vibes with Gere's humanitarian spirit. As for his career, Gere burst onto the Hollywood scene in the 70s and has been a mainstay ever since. He became a star with American Gigolo in 1980, showed his range in An Officer and a Gentleman, and nailed it as a leading man in Pretty Woman with Julia Roberts. Gere kept impressing with roles in Primal Fear and Chicago, snagging a Golden Globe for the latter. From his love life to his career, Richard Gere's journey is pure Hollywood gold. His mix of on-screen talent and off-screen humanitarian work makes him a true icon. Let's dive into the life and artistry of this remarkable actor.
You brought...
Yeah, I met this one who was sort of cool.
Oh, cool.
I spent most of the summer at the beach. What for? We got a brand new pool right here in the neighborhood.
Early life, Richard Gere was born in Philly on August 31st, 1949. He's the oldest son and second kid of homemaker Doris Ann and NMIC insurance agent Homer George Gere. Fun fact, Gere's dad originally wanted to be a minister. He grew up Methodist in Syracuse, New York. Gere's great-grandpa, George Lane Gere, changed the family name from Gere, and one of his ancestors, also named George, came from Heavitree, England, settling in Connecticut in 1638. Talk about history. Both of Gere's parents were Mayflower descendants, with ancestors like Pilgrims John Billington, William Brewster, Francis Eaton, Francis Cook, Dagory Priest, George Soule, and Richard Warren. Gere graduated from North Syracuse Central High School in 1967, where he rocked at gymnastics, music, and played the trumpet. He went to the University of Massachusetts Amherst on a gymnastics scholarship, studying philosophy. But after 2 years, he decided college wasn't for him and didn't graduate.
Stores are never nice to people. They're nice to credit cards. Okay.
Career Richard Gere kicked off his acting career in 1969 at the Seattle Repertory Theater and the Provincetown Playhouse on Cape Cod, where he starred in Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead. His big break came in 1973 when he played Danny Zuko in the original London stage version of Grease. Gere made history as one of the first notable Hollywood actors to play a gay character, portraying a Holocaust victim in the 1979 Broadway production of Bent, earning him a Theatre World Award. Gere started popping up in Hollywood films in the mid-70s. He was initially cast in The Lords of Flatbush in 1974, but got replaced after clashing with Sylvester Stallone. He had a small but memorable role in Looking for Mr. Goodbar in 1977 and starred in Terrence Malick's Days of Heaven in 1978. But it was the crime drama American Gigolo in 1980 that really put him on the map, and the romantic drama An Officer and a Gentleman in 1982, co-starring Deborah Winger, solidified his star status. The film made nearly $130 million and snagged 2 Oscars out of 6 nominations. Gere got his first Golden Globe nomination for his role. The rest of the 80s were a mixed bag for Gere, but he bounced back big time in 1990 with Internal Affairs and Pretty Woman, the latter earning him another Golden Globe nomination. Now, on the off chance that you haven't seen Pretty Woman, it's all about Vivian Ward, played by the talented Julia Roberts, a Hollywood escort and Edward Lewis, a super-rich businessman. Edward hires Vivian to be his date for a bunch of fancy business events and social gatherings. During her week-long stay with him, things get pretty interesting as their relationship starts to heat up. Think romance, drama, and a whole lot of glam. Now, personally, this genre of romance films and even books never gets old when it is done right. And boy, did they do it right. With a budget of $14 million, grossing $463 million on the box office. Unreal.
I do have one gold circle coin left, the condom of champions, the one and only. Nothing is getting through this sucker. What do you say?
A buffet of safety.
I'm a safety girl.
Throughout the 90s, Gere starred in hits like Summersby in 1993 with Jodie Foster, Primal Fear in 1996, and Runaway Bride in 1999, reuniting with Pretty Woman co-star Julia Roberts. He also played a former IRA militant with an Irish accent in the action thriller The Jackal in 1997. Richard Gere was crowned People magazine's sexiest man alive in 1999, and he didn't slow down. In 2002, he hit it big with 3 major films: The Mothman Prophecies, Unfaithful, and the musical Chicago, which won an Academy Award and snagged Gere his first Golden Globe. His ballroom dancing flick, Shall We Dance, in 2004 was a hit, grossing $170 million worldwide. But not every movie was a win. B Season in 2005 flopped hard.
Sally. Hi. Hi. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Want some chicken before you go?
Oh.
I'm famous for the
She doesn't want any.
No, let her answer for herself.
Actually, I don't eat chicken. Why not?
In 2007, Gere teamed up with Jesse Eisenberg and Terrence Howard for the thriller The Hunting Party, playing a journalist in Bosnia. He then joined an all-star cast, including Christian Bale and Cate Blanchett in I'm Not There, a unique biopic about Bob Dylan. Gere played one of 6 versions of Dylan. Next, he starred in the romantic drama Nights in Rodanthe in 2008 with Diane Lane. Critics hated it. It made Hash 74 on the Times Worst Films of 2008 list, but it still raked in over $84 million worldwide. Gere believes his outspoken politics on China have made him less popular in Hollywood, which relies heavily on Chinese box office revenue. Embracing his Hollywood exile, he shifted to indie films, earning some of the best reviews of his career. He was particularly praised for his role as businessman Robert Miller in Arbitrage in 2012, earning his 4th Golden Globe nomination. Critics like Peter Travers from Rolling Stone called his performance too good to ignore and an implosive tour de force. In 2012, Gere received the Golden Starfish Award for Lifetime Achievement from the Hamptons International Film Festival and the Career Achievement Award from the Hollywood Film Awards. He also got an award from the Cairo International Film Festival in 2010. Richard Gere shook things up big time in 2016 with Joseph Ceder's political drama, Norman. He played Norman Oppenheimer, a Jewish fixer with some serious quirks. Gere himself described the character as all those annoying and needy sides we know we've got. Critics couldn't get enough of his performance, calling it consistently fascinating. Some even said he deserved an Oscar nod. But Gere isn't just about acting. He's a talented musician, too. He composed and played the piano theme in Pretty Woman and busted out a guitar solo in Runaway Bride. Plus, he learned tap dance for Chicago and karate for An Officer and a Gentleman. Talk about dedication. Despite all his talent, Gere still hasn't snagged an Oscar nom, which has left a lot of folks scratching their heads. But hey, at least we know he's got major chops, right?
You know, you're willing to kind of mold yourself around whoever you are, you know, in love with.
I guess for me, the big realization of being married is that it's not that much different. Like, I still have to make myself happy.
Love Life, Cindy Crawford. In 1991, Richard Gere and supermodel Cindy Crawford tied the knot in a wedding that was pure glamour. Their marriage had fans buzzing, but it only lasted 2 years, ending in 1995. Cindy, who was just 26 at the time, looked back on their relationship years later. She admitted that even though they had a strong connection, they were never quite friends in the usual sense. The 16-year age gap, Gere was 42, and their hectic schedules probably didn't help. Cindy said, "I think part of the problem in our relationship was that we were a lot of other things. But I don't know if we were ever friends, like peers, because I was young and he was Richard Gere." Cindy Crawford, in a 2016 interview, got real about her past marriage to Richard Gere, revealing that 20 years after their split, he's basically like a stranger to her. "I didn't think I was young at the time, but I was," she shared on Marc Maron's WTF podcast. "I was with Richard for about 6 years, but we were only married for 2. Cindy was 26 when she married 42-year-old Gere in 1991. They officially called it quits in 1995. When asked if she's still on good terms with the Pretty Woman star, Cindy said, "We're friendly, but it's almost like he's gone back to being Richard Gere again, like a stranger, because we don't really see each other that much." Cindy explained how it was tough to change the nature of their relationship as she grew up. "It's hard to change the nature of a relationship once you're already in it," she said. Back in 1995, Cindy told people that they just didn't spend enough time together. "We thought it would be okay if we just flew in from Paris to LA to get together for a night. It wasn't. Luckily, things are different with her current hubby, Randa Gerber. I think why Randa and I really work is that we were friends first," she said. "I never pretended to like baseball or meditation or whatever. Their split was amicable, but it left its mark." Cindy moved on and married Randa Gerber, whom she met while still dating Gere. This marriage, built on friendship and shared interests, has stood the test of time, lasting 18 years and counting. Cindy and Randy have 2 kids together, Presley, 16, and Kaya, 14. Meanwhile, Gere separated from actress Carey Lowell in 2013 after 11 years of marriage. But we'll get to that.
Richard Gere and Carey Lowell are calling it quits after 11 years of marriage. They've reportedly been separated for months. Gere and Lowell have a son together.
So back in 2013, Richard Gere and Carey Lowell decided to call it quits. You might remember Gere best from his Pretty Woman days, but he tied the knot with Lowell in 2002. Before that, he was married to supermodel Cindy Crawford, but they split in '95. Lowell was the one who filed for divorce, citing lifestyle differences as a big reason. Seems like she was more into hitting the town, while Gere wanted to keep things low-key when he wasn't busy acting. Even though the nitty-gritty details of their divorce settlement haven't been spilled, word has it they sorted things out peacefully, especially concerning their 16-year-old son, Homer. It's not unusual for divorces to drag on, especially when there are kids and big bucks involved. The whole process can be a real headache, which is why it's crucial to talk to a family law pro before making any big moves. Richard Gere and Carey Lowell have a son named Homer, born in 2000. Even as their romance hit rough patches, their love for their kid was crystal clear.
When she walked in, it was like a light bulb went off and the sun was on her.
Alejandra Silva, who's 41, comes from a family with some serious football connections. Her dad was a big shot at Real Madrid back in the day, so she did the whole intern thing at an ad agency in Madrid, then landed a gig in sales and marketing for an airplane company back in 2005. Pretty cool, right? She's got brains and business savvy, no doubt about it. She's not just about sports, though. Silva runs a nonprofit called Rice Fundación, all about stamping out homelessness in Spain. "I've even slept on the streets to really get what it's like," she told Holo in 2015. "When I'm into something, I go all in. If I can't give 100%, I'm out." Get this, Alejandra isn't just about the soft life. Back in 2007, she teamed up with supermodel Carolina Kurkova to launch the Beautiful Life Fund. They're all about helping kids in tough situations, from war zones to homelessness. Talk about using your influence for good. Then in 2010, she got involved with the Real Madrid Football Club Foundation's African Initiative Project. She helped set up soccer leagues to give underprivileged kids a shot at sports and community integration in Africa. Pretty rad, huh? Oh, and did I mention she's a cover model too? Yep, she graced the front of Hola Fashion in 2016. Talk about a power couple with a heart of gold. Silva and Richard, who's 74, actually knew each other for ages before they started dating around 2014. They kept it low-key and surprised everyone with a secret wedding in April 2018. And yeah, there's a bit of an age gap, but Silva's not sweating it. "I know we're from different worlds, but when there's such a strong connection, who cares about age?" she told Hola. Now let's talk kids. Gere's got 3. His eldest, 24-year-old Homer Gere, with ex-wife Carey Lowell, and 2 sons with Silva, born in 2019 and 2020. Richard's love life has been one wild ride of celeb romances and heartaches. From his fling with supermodel Cindy Crawford to tying the knot with actress Carey Lowell, Gere's seen it all, the glitz and the drama of Hollywood love. But guess what? Despite the twists and turns, he found his happy ending with Spanish activist Alejandra Silva. Talk about breaking boundaries, right? Age ain't nothing but a number. Now with his past behind him and his heart brimming with joy, Gere's still out there inspiring us, on screen and off, proving that love is a journey worth every twist and turn.
Do you like working with Richard Gere? Because this is obviously, I mean, what else are you going to say? But this is the second movie you guys have made together.
Should I leave the room? Maybe she'll be honest.
No, I
But
don't,
you play husband
I
and
don't
wife
need
very
the money
natural.
that badly. I wouldn't do a movie I'm this intimate.
Personal life. So Richard is not just a Hollywood heartthrob. He's also a big advocate for causes he's passionate about. Because with a platform like that, one could argue you have social responsibility to be a part of important conversations. He's all about standing up for human rights in Tibet, and he's even got his own foundation, the Gere Foundation, to back it up. But here's the kicker. Because he's so vocal about Tibet's independence, China's like, nah, you're not coming in. And get this, back in '93, he got banned from presenting at the Oscars because he called out the Chinese government while announcing the nominees. Talk about making a statement. He's also not shy about speaking up for the environment and AIDS awareness. He's on the board of Healing the Divide, a group all about promoting peace and understanding worldwide. Plus, he's helped set up homes for people with AIDS in India and supports tons of campaigns for AIDS education there. Bottom line, Gere's not just about the glitz and glam of Hollywood. He's out there making a real difference in the world. There was that time back in 2007 when Richard Gere caused a stir at an AIDS awareness rally in Jaipur. Yeah, he gave Shilpa Shetty a big old smooch on the cheek, and it landed them in hot water with the law. They got slapped with charges of public obscenity, but turns out it was all a fuss over nothing. The courts eventually threw out the case, calling it frivolous. And hey, did you know Gere's also a bit of a writer? Yeah, he contributed to this book called We Are One, shining a light on the struggles of indigenous tribes. He's all about social justice, speaking out against stuff like the Iraq War, and slamming George W. Bush. He even threw his support behind Hillary Clinton in 2016. But wait, there's more. Gere isn't afraid to get political. He's called out Benjamin Netanyahu's policies on Palestinians and Israel settlements. And just recently, he joined a bunch of big names in supporting protesters in Iran and calling for sanctions. Talk about using your fame for a cause. Back in the day, he was linked with a bunch of Hollywood hotties like Penelope Milford, Sylvia Martins, and even Barbra Streisand. Wait, seriously? Rumor has it he had flings with Priscilla Presley and Kim Basinger too, according to some juicy tell-all books. And did you know Gere's all about that Zen life? Yeah, he's been into Buddhism since his 20s, rubbing shoulders with monks and even meeting the Dalai Lama. Plus, he's a big supporter of Tibetan Buddhism. But hey, it's not all Zen and love stories. In 2023, Gere had a scare when he was diagnosed with pneumonia during a vacation in Mexico. Thankfully, he bounced back like a champ, according to his wifey. Oh, and about those veggie rumors? Well, let's just say the jury's still out on whether he's a full-on vegetarian. But hey, maybe he's just keeping us guessing. This guy's not just a pretty face on screen, though. He's got the awards to prove it. So first off, he's snagged nominations for Oscars and Golden Globes like it's no big deal. The guy knows how to bring some serious depth to his roles, and critics eat it up. Then there's the Lifetime Achievement Award he got at some swanky film festivals. Basically, they're saying he's a big deal in the biz and has left a lasting mark. Oh, and let's not forget about the Joel Siegel Award he scored back in 2009. It's like a pat on the back for using his fame to do some good in the world. But wait, there's more. Gere's also got a couple of Golden Globes under his belt, including one for his role in Chicago and another for An Officer and a Gentleman. Talk about a double whammy. And check this out. He's racked up some other cool awards too, like the David Di Donatello Award and the Independent Spirit Robert Altman Award. Plus, he's been recognized for his contributions to world cinema and even got a shout out for Red Corner. But hey, even the best of the best have their moments. Gere and Winona Ryder got a Razzie nom for Worst Screen Couple in Autumn in New York. Hey, you win some, you lose some, right? Richard Gere is not just a movie star. He's a legend in the making, both on screen and off.